Hey everyone, this is Chris from Noisewire. I'm here today with Jay from Blood Rave. How you doing today, Jay?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So, how did you get into electronic music, like dark electronic music, kind of like industrial goth stuff? What was your introduction to that?
Well, honestly, I've always kind of been into like metal, hardcore, that kind of stuff, and the darker side of it. Like Kurt LaFell, stuff like that. But as I got into hardcore, I got to be honest, like exoskeletons, some girls, like those projects helped get me towards and then during like what was it like 2010, 2011, like Witch House, like Salem, Rituals, like all that stuff. Like I was playing in punk bands during that time and just like being involved in like, practicing and playing shows and blah blah blah. I kind of felt like I needed just some different vibes to listen to. And yeah, I started diving into that and that I'd have to say, yeah, like Witch House, Exoskeletons, that's what kind of brought me away from punk and hardcore and into electronic stuff.
Cool. So you play a variety of instruments, right? Like I know you play drums and bass, I
Sure,
believe.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Guitar
what?
and.
Yeah, so like stuff that you would play in a punk band. But
Sure, yeah.
what drove you to sort of go the electronic route and start working with electronic instruments?
Honestly, I've just been doing it the whole time. Like,
Really?
I was playing drums in a lot of different bands for years. But it's like you're on tour, you're in the van, or even just in between, and it's just easy to make electronic music. Not easy to like create something cool. I'm just like the overhead is easy. You just sit down and literally like open your computer. So I've always kind of just been doing it in the background. And then as things, you know, part ways, I just keep doing it. I don't know.
Nice. So, is there like, in terms of like the actual gear that you use, like, is there a specific set of gear that you gravitated towards? Are you kind of using computers mostly, or are you using a lot of any hardware or anything like that?
I've gone in and out of using hardware, and to be honest, I think like I'm not sure if it's like an attention span thing or I feel like when I get an idea, I have like one solid minute to lay it down or else it's gonna be gone and then it's not the end of the world. Like something else will always there will always be another idea. But dealing with the hardware and the having everything hooked up, like I find that it's just faster and more fulfilling for me to just stay mostly on computer.
Nice.
Uh,
So, in terms of how you write, then, do you try to write, like, do you hear things in your head and try to reproduce what you hear in your head? Or are you a jammy kind of person where you just like to play with sounds and you find something little and then you kind of build on that?
Honestly, it's like half and half. It depends. Like I've had some songs where I've had the idea and then I'm like literally on my way home and I'm in voice recorder humming the melody and then I get home and I'm trying to replicate that. Honestly, those songs most of the time don't end up being the ones though. I feel like the ones that turn out is like, I've got an arpeggiator hooked up on a bass and I'm just playing around and then something just happens and I loop it and then it just begins.
Yeah, nice.
So I guess jammy. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like a little variety of both, which is understandable.
Yeah.
In terms of your music itself, it's your vocals and your melodies are very melancholic, but the beats and the bass are kind of upbeat and kind of punchy. What is it about that contrast of styles that you're drawn to? Is that intentional, or is that just kind of how it comes out?
Yeah, it definitely is like intentional. Like that was kind of always the idea, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's what I'm always kind of trying to do. Like when I was a drummer, I was always trying to like augment the time, like whether it's like, we're doing eighth notes, I'm gonna try to like do something that's 16 to like spice it up. You know, not that I'm like trying to like reinvent the wheel or anything, but I think that an attempt to take things a little bit outside the norm is always worth it. And so, yeah, I was trying a bunch of different styles of just like, either techno with singing or super slow music with upbeat vocals. Like, I just um, messed around until I found something that I liked.
Cool. When you write, do you try to write in like big chunks, or do you focus on individual songs? Because I've noticed you released two albums and only one single. A lot of people are into the whole singles thing, so I wasn't sure if that's just more your approach, or how you feel about that.
Frankly, like I just sort of go through like obsessive periods of writing where like I'll write every day all day till I can't stay awake anymore for like a few months, and then I'll have a collection of like, 20, 30 ideas. And then I won't feel like making music for a couple months, and then I'll do it again, and then I'll be like, "Oh, there's 30 songs here." Like maybe I'll do an album, but that's like how it started. But frankly, I at least from what I've been able to pick up, and I'm pretty sure what a lot of other people are doing is like just the way that the music industry is now. It seems more suitable to release singles, which actually is kind of cool to me because now if I release singles, I can kind of try something new every time.
Yeah.
Whereas when I do a release, I intentionally am chopping songs to try to make them all seem similar, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just kind of how things are now. You do a single, people listen to just the one song. You're not asking for 45 minutes of someone's attention. You know what I mean?
Do you but conceptually do you approach your albums that way, or is it kind of more just curating a collection? Like, do you have a central theme necessarily when you're working on an album? Do you work from that perspective, or do you kind of just collect songs and then decide which ones you like the best out of that collection?
I think I collect songs. And then as I'm, trying to organize them for a release, I'll keep in mind what the theme is. But yeah, I try not to go into any song like whether I'm starting a new project on Ableton or whether I'm on my phone like recording a melody. Like I try not to be locked into anything. And then I kind of find the fun of it if like if I write something that sounds super indie pop, like, okay, how can I make this dark? And
Yeah.
then I like that's the fun of that project is trying to take something that is like pretty to me, but make it dark somehow. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's like
Is
that's the fun of it to me is the experimenting.
is Blood Rave gonna be your only project, or do you intend to start other projects that are different styles? Is or do you see a time where Blood Rave could kind of encompass a different style?
The idea initially was for me to like encompass other styles. Like um, the first music that I was making for this project was more like synthwave, cyberpunky kind of stuff, just because I like to vibe to that, you know?
Yeah.
I love playing video games. I love like video game culture and video game music and the people that like I like to look up people that produce video game soundtracks like Lena Rain that does like Minecraft music and stuff like that. Um, so I don't know. Like I imagine that I'll do all types of different stuff, but it'll probably all be dark and probably all a little heavier than I want it to be. Like I'm always trying to make music that's calm and I can never figure it out. Like everything always just has this like angst, like stressful, like undertone to it.
Nice. Do you write from personal experiences, or do you try to like take on other perspectives, or write from like the perspective of a different person?
As far as like lyrics go,
Yeah, lyrics, or even just like themes for songs, or sort of like ideas, like your motivations.
for lyrics, in the past, I used to watch like a lot of Walking Dead. Like me and my partner were really into that show, and we were like, I've watched up to season 6 probably like 2 or 3 times, and then kind of lost me after that. But I've written about episodes of that. I've written about episodes of the X Files. I've written about episodes of Twin Peaks. But it's more just like I think of the situation, I try to describe it, and then it morphs into something else. Like I feel like I would be lying if I said that I was writing from my own personal experience because my personal experiences, I spend like so much time on a computer, and that's like it. That's like all there is, you know? It's either that or making music, and I'm not gonna write lyrics about making music, you know? So,
Yeah.
but lately for Blood Rave, I've been writing a lot about like, I'll think about like Metroid or Castlevania. Like, I've been really into retro games lately.
Nice.
So I'll just try to just think of that idea and then write what comes to mind.
Do you think your sort of passion for video games influenced you to get into electronic music?
No, my passion for video games didn't really come until like COVID, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like video
Yeah.
games were still a new thing for you? You didn't like grow up playing
Yeah.
them?
And that's why I'm like so excited about it, I think. And it's a cool time for technology generally.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a coder, you're a coder as well.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time for technology, and I think games are at the maybe not the forefront, but you know, they're leading change.
They're definitely part of the
And
current. Yeah, they
yeah.
definitely they fuel innovation because people want to get crazier with their games.
Yep. Yeah, like I'm really into emulator handhelds, like small like Game Boy recreations.
Oh, nice.
And every 3 or 4 months they'll be coming out with another one that's, you know, almost twice as powerful as the last one. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of cool watching that.
Are you replaying old Pokemon games?
I have, yeah. That was like how it started. Was I was like, I want to play Pokemon. So I did that. I played a couple of those. And then I got to this thing where I was like, I'm gonna try to beat all the Castlevania games.
Nice.
And I beat like four of them, but it's so hard.
They're very difficult. I love Castlevania
Yeah.
as well. Um, what's the song Bloody Tears? Is that the theme from the second Castlevania? I can't remember, but some of the music in Castlevania is
Theme
like
song?
amazing.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of why I like it. That's actually a lot of why I like Metroid. Like a lot of it, honestly, the music sounds like music that, you know, some of it sounds like Chris Baja or like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
other like current artists right now.
Um,
Which is
so
awesome.
so thinking about working in the digital age, like since we're talking about that and releasing music now, how are you navigating it? Like, are you paying attention to social media and trying to work those angles? Are you just kind of making music and putting it on Bandcamp and hoping for the best? Like, do you have like a tactic for that?
So I'm like at the point to where I'm like setting reminders in my phone to tell me to look at Instagram. I feel like it's been a long time of like using Instagram to like promote all of my previous bands, and like it's like I feel like at this stage I'm a little burnt out, but I obviously realize the importance of it. It's basically everything.
Yeah,
So I try to do my part to repost stuff if I'm mentioned, or you know, if I haven't posted a while, I'll like remind somebody about a flyer. But no, I've been focused on like reaching out to like playlisters, and also like I've got some collaborations with other people that I'm working on, and
oh nice.
trying to do things that are like actual growth, which is interesting because I've never really tried to do that. But I think it's an age thing. It's like, you know, I'm at this age, I think if I'm going to keep doing it, I should try to do it all the way rather
Right.
than just put music out and hope somebody cares. Because there's something in that that I feel like is self-centered, or like you know, like I sort of think of myself as like a tiny grain of sand in like a big beach, you know. And I think that if you just drop something on Bandcamp and don't do anything beyond that, then you're kind of assuming that people are gonna find it
That's interesting.
somehow.
Yeah. So you mentioned where was I going with this? You mentioned oh yeah, you mentioned collaboration. That's what I want to talk about. And remixing is usually like a big part of the goth industrial scene. Like everybody remixes each
Yeah.
other. I've not noticed you do any remixes or have anyone doing remixes for you. Is that something that you eventually want to get into or look into, or is that something that you're opposed to, or like how do you feel about remixes?
No, I'm totally into it. I actually have some that are in the works now, finally. Um, Sort of what we talked to before we got on camera, we were talking about just like reaching out and how it's hard and the confidence and things like that. And yeah, up until just recently, I just haven't really felt like I'm like, why me? Why would they want to collaborate with me? But I feel like now, like my music's been out for a little while. I've played some shows. Like I'm not like absolutely nobody. So I feel like, I just wanted to wait until I was like around for a couple years. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Before I started being like, hey, let's like collaborate or whatever. But yeah, I've got a couple things in the works. I'm totally into it. I think it's just like, I want it to be good still.
I understand. So, are you remixing anybody else, or are you just looking for other
Yeah.
people to kind of work on your stuff? Oh, you are cool.
Both. Yeah. We're like trading. Like I'm
Oh, cool.
trading with somebody and then I'm getting one from somebody and then doing one for someone else. So there should be four in the sphere involving me over the next 5, 6 months ish.
How do you like the like practice of remixing? Is it interesting compared to working on stuff by yourself? Like I would imagine it's kind of refreshing to have a palette that somebody else created for you that you can like play
So
with.
fun. Yeah, it's so fun. I honestly like I could see myself doing that only. Honestly, I just think it's really cool. It's also just a fun study. Like one of them that I'm doing is a close friend of mine's band, and it's like it's really cool to see how they put it all together and just their decisions that they made on song structure, when to change things, and just study and also just show it to them and be like, what
Yeah.
do you think? Yeah, no, it's been a blast. It's honestly been really refreshing and kind of motivated me to start writing some of my own music too.
Oh, nice. So, you recently released Dead Inside, the
Yeah.
video and the single for that. Is that an indication of more music to come? Because you've been releasing big chunks of music. So do you have something kind of lined up and you're just starting to release singles for it, or you just writing?
No, I just felt like I needed to put something out. I like came up with a song and I was like, this is really cool. And then just sort of how we were back in, you know, all right, so like numbers aren't everything, right? Like we do this because we love this. Like this does not pay my bills. This is what I love to do. However, when you look at an album, say Exponential Decay, the one that I just did before, it was like at the beginning of this year, you can see the play count go towards the bottom and it gets smaller by hundreds on each song. And I don't, I'm confident that that record, those songs are engaging, like to me. And that's good enough for me. If I think it's engaging and that I didn't do any filler, that's good for me. And I don't feel like I did any filler on that one. And I think it just really shows um, just attention span.
Yeah.
I rarely listen to a full album of anyone these days.
Right.
Like I was saying that I was trying to think of the last like I did listen to the new Moreau album. Like I like put it on and listened to it all the way through because I was just it seemed like a heavily anticipated album, so I gave it a full listen through. But other than that, I don't really like listen to music that way anymore.
What was the process of shooting that video like? Is that your first video that you've been a part of, or?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first video that I've actually been like hyped on that I've done. Like I've done a bunch of videos for different bands that I've been in the past. It's always been really like hectic and then like mildly disappointing. Like you have this sort of grand idea of how these shots are gonna look, and you're even like we've even been like, okay, you're gonna shoot it from down here looking up and it's gonna be so sick, and then you do it and it's just not because it's a skill like that is hard.
Yeah.
People that film movies are quite talented. Like it's hard to make stuff look cool. Um, so, but this new one, it was really easy. Uh, we just rented a studio and I had two of my friends do it with me.
Nice.
We just did it in an afternoon and then went out to dinner and then went home. It was chill.
That sounds that honestly sounds pretty awesome to just like bang out the video in one day and then
Yeah.
be
And
happy
I
with
had the
it.
same thing. Like I had this idea of it being like super epic and it wasn't as epic, but like I don't know if it's an age thing or like I just don't care anymore. Like I'm hyped on the song. I
Yeah.
think the visuals for it match the song and so cool, man. Like
Yeah.
nothing's gonna be perfect and it doesn't have to be like
No, it'll never live up to, your ultimate
mm-mm.
expectations. But I think the video is really good and I really like that song too. So I was really impressed
Thank
with it.
you. Yeah, I'm hyped on it. Usually I'm pretty over music when I put it out, but that's been another upside to releasing singles is like the process of putting that out was so much shorter.
Yeah, I
Like
bet.
the pretty much every album I've ever released, by the time we're done with it, there's at least three or four songs on it that I've been listening to for months and I
Yeah.
can't stand anymore.
I hear that a
Uh,
lot. Yeah.
yeah, just a single, it was like I just did it and I put it up and it was tight.
Do you so this kind of ties into live performance, but I wanted to ask real quick, do you produce music for clubs at all? Like, are you expecting this stuff to get played in goth clubs where people dance, or I mean, I'm just curious, like the dance element to it. Is that something intentional, or are you just a rhythmic person and your music just happens to have like a rhythmic edge to it?
Honestly, I think I'm just a drummer, but I also just like energetic music. Like usually like on my liked songs on Spotify, if you go through, it's usually like the most hype song on the record or whatever. It's usually like whatever one has like the most like hook, catchy, upbeat. Like I just like music like that, which is funny because my personality is so the opposite of that. Like this is like maybe the most animated you'll ever see me. Like I'm usually just very like, kind of in my own head and low key. But yeah, I like energetic music and my previous bands were like not very energetic. And so I really wanted to do something to where I can just get on stage, throw on some strobes and just kind of like go off, you know?
Yeah. So how do you approach live performances then? I know you've got some shows coming up and you've done a few shows,
Yeah.
but coming from like a full band, how did you approach the idea of just doing something on your own?
I just felt like I needed to make it visually look cool and that whatever like I have a habit of overcomplicating things. In my previous bands, like we've always had like samples and electronic like elements, and I've always overcomplicated like the routing of the instruments, the complexity of the stuff that I'm like firing off, like all of that. I've always just made it too complicated. So with this, I was like, the goal is to sing good and to have it visually be cool. So like that was my approach really. The back end of it, like the programming and stuff is all very basic. So yeah, I just focus on light show and vocal performance really.
Cool. So like, because I haven't seen any videos of you live, so you just bring some lights out and like a small electronic rig that you can run a sequencer or something similar like to that, or
Yeah, yeah, and then I have like a keyboard that I play some leads on, and then a sample pad that I'll fire some like explosions and stuff, anvil hits and stuff
ambulance.
here and
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I
Nice.
love
Well,
those.
what do you have coming up? Like to kind of close things out. Like, do you have anything that you want to plug that, or anything we can anticipate in the rest of the year?
So I've got two shows opening up for Nuevo Testamento coming up.
Oh, nice.
Very excited about that. I love them, huge fan. So really excited about that. I'm like working to refine my set list and make it like these stages are going to be bigger than I've really played on before. So I'm kind of trying to add other elements to make it, a little crazier. Other than that, I'm not sure when is this going to come out.
September, sometime in the next couple
Okay.
weeks.
Yeah, it'll probably come out. I'm doing a show with Corbo Hangs on Halloween in Arizona, which is where they're from.
Oh,
That's
cool.
really cool. Like I really like that band, so I was hyped that they invited me to do that. And then I've got a couple other random shows towards the end of the year, but I'm graduating massage school next month.
Congratulations.
So thank you. My partner is a therapist, so um, I decided to go to school to like help out and kind of fill the gaps between touring and coding and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I've been in school for a year, so I haven't been touring, but now that I'm out, I'm looking for a booking agent, but I think I'm gonna have to set up a few things on my own and start
Yeah.
getting it going first. So that's the plan.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking some time to talk to us. Really enjoy the music you make. So, looking forward to hearing more of it soon.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great to meet you. I appreciate you for having me on.